Hi, this is Blake Levine. I want to thank you so much for attending our Eventbrite Learning. It's really nice to virtually meet you. I want to just congratulate you for getting your free ticket and now having VIP access. One of the things about trading and learning about it is there's a lot of excitement and enjoyment. Waking up every day and seeing how the market's doing is something that every year you can see consistently people care about and focus on and learn about. And the lesson I want to talk about today is something within stock options. People want to often know where some of the big money from different investors and traders are going. So, one of the things that's quite fascinating is around earnings season, looking at the stock options. You can get different quotes like on Yahoo Finance or on different apps, and you can figure out through the technique I'm teaching to understand how many people are buying the options. So there's different things called a strike price. So let's just take Apple for example. And when Apple is at a certain price, let's say it's at $200, you will see call options, meaning they're hoping it goes up. And there will be options. Let's say the price is 200 at 185, 190, 195, 200. Now, different stocks have different options. Some do it in dollars, so it might be 186, 187, 188. Some have different things like 190, 195, 200. And one of the things I teach about is you can look and on that actual option, like let's say at 200, the call option will have a set amount of people that have purchased it, and you can look throughout the day at how many people bought the options. You'll see actually through option season a huge amount of increase. So let's say you took Apple on the day before options or on the day of the options, like they often do their earnings call in the evening. Actually, California time, it's later in the day. The markets close out here at 1:30 in the afternoon is when they typically is 4:30 Eastern. You can start learning about through those times. You can see the options. And sometimes you see massive amounts of buying. And one of the reasons I tell people to start looking at that is you can sort of understand what trades are becoming the most popular. And the reason that's helpful is the more people are buying, the more interest there is in that stock idea or that stock option. And you can see, so let's say it said 15,000. That means 15,000 people have bought the calls, and each call is 100 shares. So if you see, let's say, Apple 200 and the strike price is 200, and you see 15,000, that means 15,000 options have been purchased. Now, sometimes you'll see a small amount. You might see 25 or 50, and that's one of the things about the pricing of the options is you can learn about the spread. So you might buy it for $20, and that's the bid versus the ask. So the bid might be 20 and the ask might be 40. So that spread is important because sometimes in stock options you can buy it, but then if you have to sell it, it's not as liquid. So if you end up looking at how many are being bought on the ones that are quite heavily traded, there's usually more liquidity because there's people that are buying, there's people that are selling. That's one of the things I'll share too, is if it ever does go up, I've had this experience where stocks went up a ton, but because of that, there's less buyers into the market. So you end up maybe making a giant profit. Like one time, I think I had like a 17 times profit. And when I sold it, there wasn't as much bidders paying a premium, but I still made a massive amount of money. I say that to myself too in psychology. You know, when I had a 17 times profit, I would have loved to have had a 19 or 20 times because there's supposed to still be some days left with the option. And psychology wise, there's still supposed to be possible value. But sometimes when something skyrockets a lot, you can't see that much. But I said to myself, hey, yesterday, if you put in $1,000 and the next day you had 17,000, that's such a giant profit that psychology wise, you have to learn to decide not to be as greedy, because sometimes accepting that profit at the open or at the morning or at the time gives you a guaranteed gain of that it's already there. Sometimes it can go up and then down. That's one of the things I teach too, is when you're watching it, you might say, hey, I wanted more and more profit, but sometimes getting out and keeping some of the money is quite valuable, because I've seen things up 17 times and then in the morning, and then by the end of the day, they're up 12 times or 8 times or 10 times. And sometimes it can even go down a lot. Something goes up and then down. So what I teach you about is understanding to look at different amounts of options. Yahoo Finance is one of the easiest ones to see on the stock options how many have bought. And you'll see on the number next to it how many there are in a day. And it's quite interesting. So if you have a stock idea or a stock thing you're working on or something you're looking at, seeing how many options have been bought, even if you're buying shares, is something interesting to learn about, is to see how much trading is going on, because that impacts the long-term investors. And you might do both. I've seen people that have stock they hold, they put it away for many years, and then they trade at different times because they feel it can go up or down. Even if something's at a 52-week low, you might buy. I bought something today that was close to its 52-week low. It's already up 5% on its stock. So I bought some options because to me it could go well up. And that's something you can do. Maybe you have long-term holdings, but then maybe in your short-term holdings, you get aggressive when you understand stuff. Like if something's at its 52-week low, it might bounce way back. Or maybe you see something, some of the stocks that have gone up recently, they've had AI. A couple of different companies had their stock go up a lot when they announced doing different AI tools. Maybe you see different things. I saw an activist investor get involved in a company that's went up a lot, a new CEO that can bring it up. So one of the things is to look at the stock options, see how many are buying it, and understand. Also, you might want to understand which ones they are buying, so you see which ones most of the money invested in the options are looking at, so you get an idea of where it's going and what may be good. I want to thank you guys for attending this Eventbrite. Now, I want to tell you, with this ticket that you've gotten here, paid for free, you have VIP access to me and to my tutoring service, where I tutor you one-on-one on video to help you. I'll work with you, and we can talk about different questions, even if you want overall analysis to understand how to feel about trading and learning about it and asking questions. Sometimes it's hard to just ask questions, and you don't feel confident, or you want to build your confidence. Maybe you already trade, but you say, hey, I want to get some advantages, and working with a tutor can really help. People get in a slump at times, or people give up, or people have lost, but they want to understand why they're attracted to trading and why it can maybe help them long term. Almost like there's times that trading can be one of the only ways to make profit. So I want to thank you so much. The team member will message you, I think, through email. So look for that email to do the tutoring. And thank you again for attending this Eventbrite. It's been really nice to meet you. I hope whatever you do, your trading goes well. I know myself, I'm trading every day, learning, and that's one of the things too. Knowledge is so successful. I try to study newspapers and concepts and keep growing in my ability of knowledge. I found that being more knowledgeable definitely gives me advantages long term, and also optimism and knowledge, even in any direction. If you're shorting or going long, or buying VIX options, trading and small cap, while having optimism, you end up having more success. So thank you so much, and I wish you a wonderful day.